52's the mic. Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check, crunch, crunch, crunch.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Here's Brissett. Completes this one to Meredith. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From midfield, here's Locke. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll get him down as as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that. Yeah,
it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And they'll get this down to the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Check. Hot route.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they come up now 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They go jet sweep. This is Taylor. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On first down, Murray. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on second down, Brissett. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Running with Kamara. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come on,
Throwing, Brissett. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 32 on the play. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Kamara. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He's got his tight end Fant. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Lock now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Here's Locke. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Philip Lindsey in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw it is Locke. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Locke going to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. To return is Taylor. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
Latavius Murray, he's at the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He's going to air one out, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Lock now on 1st down. Flush to his right. Incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Under 10. Get it. 10.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
It's 3rd and 7.
Set up. 50. Plant. Hey, Charlie. Hit it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
He's checking crap. You draw Corker.
They're going with Lindsey. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the 1st. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Saints 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Watch twist. Watch the twist. Big dribble.
Here's Muhammad. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. On 2nd and 9, Brissett out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw is Brissett. It's Hill, complete. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Brissett. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Brissett, they'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. As they are now, oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. They complete it to Hill. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Saints 41.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Another run by Lindsey. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Lindsey. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check, check, lucky.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Muhammad. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Oh, Brandon, I'm going to tell you, this is football time to me. They're inside the 10-yard line. That's like drawing the line in the sand. Who's going to make the stand here? Defensive guys, they know if he gets in the end zone, this ball game is over. And the guys with the football right now, they're thinking, let's just pound it in there.
Got to hold him to 3 to keep this a one-score game. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go now. 30 base. Target. Showing up.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you give that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, that was a fun game to witness, partner. A touchdown there at the very end to win this thing.
And that's really where the emphasis is, right? The touchdown to win it. I know that they put a little on top, right? What's your favorite dessert? You know, what do you put on top of your favorite dessert?
You put whipped cream, maybe a cherry.
There you go. The whipped cream, the cherry, whatever you want to talk about, that's what they put on it. But the story, the touchdown to win it, that's how they got it done.
So for New Orleans, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.